What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Domino Table. Hoy estamos con otro invitado bien especial desde Bogotá, Colombia. Matt Paris, ¿cómo estás, papá?
What's up, bro? What's up, man?
¿Cómo estás, papá?
Good. Estoy feliz. Thank you for having me here.
Always, bro. Thank you for being here.
No, thank you. Nos conocimos ya hace un tiempo y, bueno, ya era tiempo que eso se diera en cualquier momento.
Yeah.
Trabajando fuerte. Ha sido un año muy interesante y nada, feliz. Vamos a ver qué sigue pasando.
Bro, ¿qué ha pasado el último, within the last year, que te ha cambiado como la perspectiva?
Within the last year, there's been a lot of changes. Estaba terminando un ciclo. En el 2022 estaba finalizando un ciclo que llevaba varios años tratando de, estaba en su ciclo, corriendo.
Yeah.
Y terminó. Este nuevo año tuve la oportunidad de empezar limpio, cuenta nueva. Pude sacar música finalmente este año. Desde mi último sencillo que saqué este año, llevaba casi un año sin sacar música, desde el 2022. Entonces este año tuve la oportunidad de salir con nueva música, de poder, dándole al público lo que se merecen, que es la mejor música posible, y de seguir creando.
Yeah.
El poder sacar también me genera también creatividad y motivación de poder, seguir generando,
Qué difícil es, porque muchos artistas, ¿sabes? Son gente creativa y tú quieres sacar tu obra de arte al mundo. Qué difícil se te ha hecho no sacar en un año.
Bueno, se me hace muy difícil a veces como el estrés emocional. Siento que a veces esta carrera de la música puede ser un poco estresante.
Yeah.
Pero at the same time, trato también de utilizar eso como para motivarme y como tratar de ser creativo para poder como cambiar ese pensamiento y empezar como a ver cosas diferentes, per se,
Yeah.
Pero también trato de caminar. A mí me gusta mucho caminar. Eso me ayuda. Las mejores ideas que a mí me llegan o es caminando o taking a shower,
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Nah, same. Being in the shower, there's nothing better than thinking in the shower for some reason.
Yeah.
Like you sit under the water. I have my most dramatic moments, a hand on the wall, water.
With the water coming down.
Hey yo. No, I feel you. Like I be talking to myself in the shower sometimes. Like this, that, ding.
Especially your day, is hectic. You have so much stuff to do in one day.
How am I gonna do this? Maybe my ADHD be kicking in
for
here
sure,
and there,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
No, I think everybody needs that time to like you said, the walk. I'm a big fan of the just walk and just think.
Yeah,
because ese tiempo I don't know about you, but at least so I do walks with my girlfriend, right? And we'll do these long walks, and I feel like we get the most done in those walks porque estamos los dos en una frecuencia de I feel like it's just different, bro, porque no tienes distractions de otras cosas. Estás como nada más pensando de whatever you're talking about, you're fully focused on that, you're super into that. No estás pensando en otra cosa que for example, if you're just talking, I don't know, en la casa, puede estar el televisor o puede estar other distractions.
No, it's a different state of mind. I feel like,
yeah.
When I walk, I mean, just by nature and anatomy of the body.
La vibra.
You are walking. There's oxygen flowing into your brain, in a more constant or more different way than just sitting at home smoking a blunt or something,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
It's a different mindset for me, at least,
Yeah.
So it helps me, I get to solve a lot of problems, I find solutions when I'm walking,
Yeah.
I'm the same way. For me, it's running. For some reason, when I'm running, ideas always pop into my head.
Boom.
Something new, and I'll randomly yell out oh.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then I'll immediately go, I don't know about you, but I always like to write it down immediately because I always forget. Whenever I don't do it, I'm like, damn.
As you download, you gotta write it down, man.
Yeah, for
Literally.
sure.
Yeah.
Bro, I've had ideas so I work in the creative field, the advertising field, and I've had ideas come to me literally middle of the night. And bro, no matter how sleepy I am, I have to write it down because ahí la pierdo y se jode toda la cosa.
Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night?
Yes.
And you're like, I gotta write this down.
And the worst part is you have to do it because you know that you can say oh yeah, I'll remember this in the morning, bro.
You won't.
You're not gonna do it.
It's not happening.
No. See, bro, you forget your dreams as soon as you wake up.
Literally. Yeah.
So imagínate the day before.
No, for me, it happens a lot in music. You know, I have my memo,
Yeah.
my voice recorder ready to go. You know, because it happens. You know, like for me, it's like every time I hear a beat for the first time, like okay, I get a pack and I like it. Okay, cool. I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah.
I wait until I go to the studio, and the first time I hear the beat, I put that shit on record, and you know, I mumble, you know?
Yeah.
So that's when I get the melodies. Mm-hmm. But after that, if I didn't record, it's gone, baby.
Yeah. You're like, I'm never thinking that again.
You know? I was just being a messenger, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
It went through, that's it. What happened here, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I use it all the time. You know, ideas are important, but it's also important to, you know, grab them, you know? Because they just get lost sometimes.
So, dilo de ti, bro. Like, ¿cómo te criaste?
Yeah, like tell us a little bit about your background.
Bueno, so, yo soy colombiano. I was born in Colombia. Me mudé aquí a los 10 años. I moved to the States. I've lived everywhere in the States. He vivido en Birmingham, Alabama. He vivido en Texas. He vivido en Orlando. He vivido en Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been all over the.
How was Birmingham and Alabama as like a young Colombian kid?
Bro, so look, it was like crazy.
I bet.
It was like
Another world.
culture
shock for sure.
You know, I come from Colombia, which is nice and everything, but it's not High School Musical either.
Yeah.
So I pull up from Colombia to just Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
You know, crazy ass locker rooms. You know, the hallways of the school, the teachers.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
You know, the boards. It was just like you were in High School Musical.
For
You went
sure.
to the cafeteria. They had the little milk,
The milk cartons.
the cartons. You know, that to me was like
Insane?
Yeah.
insane. You don't have that in Colombia like that. You know.
Oh, okay.
You know, like you do have, you know, the equivalent in Colombia, but it's like these the things that you will see on like TV,
Yeah,
you know,
movies.
on
Yeah.
movies, you know,
Yeah.
American
I
movies.
feel like I'm living it.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not going to Disney. I'm living the life in the United States
Yeah,
of
for sure.
America. So it's like that's crazy. A bus would pick me up, the whole 9 yards. So it was amazing. Birmingham was also like a little weird for me in a sense because it was me and like 2 more other Latinos in the whole school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they were super like. There was like a lot of Confederate flags and like, you know.
That's normal.
That's why I asked. Yeah.
Yeah, super normal. And back then for me, I didn't really understand
what it was. Yeah.
because I was blonde and this. So like,
Yeah.
you know, for them I spoke Mexican, you know.
Yeah.
Every Hispanic is
Yeah.
Mexican.
It's
over there.
Mexican.
But then I moved to Texas. Texas was like High School Musical with
Alabama, like the
like
mix.
not Latino,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Latino
yeah.
mix, you know, the
Yeah,
Latino
yeah.
mix, you know. So I pulled up there when I was 13, 14. All of my friends were like Latinos, so I got to connect with somehow with my roots, you know.
For sure.
I met Colombians again because in Birmingham there
Yeah.
was like 2 Latinos. That's it.
That's
you
it,
know?
yeah.
In a big school like High School Musical. And from there, I moved to Orlando. Orlando was so much more cool,
Yeah.
you know, because it was like Venezuelans,
Puerto
and
Ricans.
Puerto Ricans. I was older, and I mean, obviously, as I'm living this life of a normal kid, you know, on the side I'm doing my music, you know. So growing up, I was doing, you know, I moved to the States and I learned about Drake and Tupac when I was 10, and like Biggie and like all that. And that kind of like, you know, made that was like the cultural shock for me musically that like made me start finding a way to express myself musically, not only by like playing the guitar, you know, and like doing music covers, but like creating music. Because since I'm a little kid, since I'm 7, I started playing the guitar, and I used to have a band in Colombia, a rock band.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we used to be called Juvenile Crime.
Wow.
Juvenile Crime, homie.
Bien rebellious.
So they would hire us to do like gigs, but for like rock and roll covers. You know?
Oh, okay.
So it was lit, you know. It was like
awesome.
me and like 7 other kids, you know. Like we had one kid that would just hit the Clash on the
Yeah.
drum. That was his only job. But shit, Juvenile Crime,
for
you know.
sure, yeah.
That's
It was
awesome.
it was so cool. But you know, I started implementing all of that knowledge when I moved to the States, you know.
Yeah.
And then I knew about rap, and then hip hop and this, and like music is music. It just depends on how do you interpret it. Everything on the keyboard or whatever, you can do anything, you know.
Yeah.
So I moved to Orlando. You know, reggaeton, you know, J
Puerto
Balvin
Rican,
is popping, 6 a.m., Puerto Ricans, you know, Venezuelans.
In the cars. Like
Yeah, that's it. You
At
get
the
on
gas station?
No, you
like-
get on the bus, you know, you get on the bus stop, like at school, you're waiting, and like you see your Puerto Rican friends, like,
In a little Honda.
Yeah, all right, nice.
With the subwoofers, yeah.
So I was seeing, it was really fun there. And when I was there, we have a friend here in Miami, my dad's friend from high school that he did music. He's part of the music industry. And he's like, yo, there's this TV show airing in Univision. Se llama La Banda. Deberías decirle a tu hijo que, que he plays the guitar. Debería tratar, blah, blah.
Why not? Yeah.
Some X Factor vibes.
Yeah,
like,
for
okay,
sure.
cool, whatever, do it. Okay, choir, whatever.
That's two, bro.
Yeah.
That's two people
Yeah, that's two people
from
that
shows.
don't know,
Yeah.
So we send the paperwork, whatever, They fly me out to Miami. So it was like my first time, like, wow.
Damn.
Like,
I'll get you like
man,
already.
some serious shit
flown out,
is
yeah.
happening,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
Univision flying me out. So we're been
Yeah.
waiting for me in the Miami airport. I'm like, what the
Insane,
hell?
yeah.
First time, 15.
And how old are you at the time?
I was like 15.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
imagine.
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. We go through, before all that, there's like a filters, I go through some filters, whatever. I got to skip a couple filters, but I went through like a filter,
Yeah.
Whatever, I got admitted, and then they're like, you come into the TV auditions,
Wow.
So I'm like, holy
Let's
moly,
go, yeah,
guacamole.
Yeah.
They fly me out again to Miami. I blacked out. Because I was so scared.
Like nervous?
Yeah, bro. They made me. My judges were Ricky Martin, Laura Pausini, and Alejandro Sanz.
Wow.
No.
I'd black
And
out.
Los nervios tan como
Yeah,
que-
homie, I was already tripping. My first performance ever in my life. No type of stage performance. I was not shy. I was.
Right.
I was really intimidated.
Yeah,
That's a complete different feeling. I was there. I was there definitely to give my best, but I was also really intimidated. And you know what they made me sing? They made me sing a Ricky Martin song, homie.
No.
In front of Ricky-
In front of Ricky Martin. So I'm
That's
like,
the worst.
I'm like, wow, they're setting me
like-
up. They setting me up in this whole.
Yeah.
But no, it went perfect, Mom,
Yeah.
I sang whatever. Oh, no, listen. Before you get in there, there's a percentage. And you have to be like 85% or more
Yeah.
to like go in or
Advance, or
or
like
75% something. I don't remember what I got. I think it was 88 that I got, but I went in, because the girls would choose,
Oh, okay.
His name is Matt Paris. He's from Colombia. He's 16.
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
girls. How are you?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Please vote for me.
Yeah.
Like, blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God. So whatever.
Yeah.
They let me in. After I sing the song, Alejandro Sanz is like, I like it, but we want to hear you a cappella. What can you sing for us? I'm like, oh, my Lord,
No,
Jesus.
but I don't know.
Why?
Were you like? Had you ever done a cappella before? Like.
Yeah, of course. But
yeah.
I,
On your own?
obviously, I was not prepared for like
Yeah.
them to say this to me. And the first song that popped into my mind was Nicky Jam, El Perdón.
Okay.
Wow.
Bro,
Classic.
they sang that
Fire.
shit, and everybody behind me, the whole el público,
Yeah.
empezó a cantarla conmigo, and I passed, bro.
You passed?
I passed.
That's
Jesus
fire.
Christ, I passed. Yeah, so that was my first time, like, my first encounter with like the industry, and I knew I wanted to do music for my whole life. But that was the moment that was like the breaking point. That was like, holy shit.
Where does that come from? Like, were your parents into music, or like did someone in like your family introduce you, or you just found
Like,
it on
where'd
your
the
own?
love for
Yeah,
like,
where's the
come
love for music?
I feel like Colombia is like a place where there's a lot of party,
Yeah.
a lot of like family gatherings and like these type of things. Y cuando yo estaba creciendo as a young kid, my dad would throw a lot of parties, a lot of
Okay.
karaoke nights at my house.
Oh, okay.
So, memorias mías de chiquito es despertando a las 4 de la mañana, lights completely off on the second floor, in my parents' room, listening to like loud as a bass, and I'm getting downstairs and everyone is like drunk,
Yeah.
karaoke night.
And they're like, yo, you go.
Son, come here, I love you. Come, sing for me, sing for us, entertain us.
Shout out, Dad.
Yeah, shout out, Dad.
In the background.
So you already know. Doing that all the time. I can tell you countless times that this happened. That I wake up 3 in the morning, everybody lit, karaoke. Oh, the kid, he knows how to sing. Come sing for us, So that developed it. And also my dad lived in the States when he was young. So like I had that cool like taste of music in my house, We used to have like a tower, probably like from the floor to the ceiling, 3 or 4 towers just full of CDs.
Nice.
You name it.
I can already envision it. Like,
Yeah.
walking,
I'm
houses
imagining
back
like
then?
the house. Like,
yeah.
So I'm a kid. I'm a little kid. A tower that is like 3 times my size, and I'm like, what is Pink Floyd? Or like what is I don't know,
Nice.
whatever.
Yeah.
They had everything. So that's where I started developing that liking for the music.
Okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
No, I mean that's a solid base though, bro.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is.
Like in terms of like conocimiento and like, what did you listen to growing up then? Like que te
A
inspiró.
little bit of everything, or
Well, for me, it was like rock. What inspired
Rock
me
was-
to become a musician was rock.
Like American rock?
Yeah, like 80s rock, like 70s rock, like Pink Floyd, The Leppard, Iron
Yeah.
Maiden. All of that inspired me to become a musician, to love the music. But also at the same time, I was a kid, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I used to go to school also like any other kid. I used to have girlfriends. I used to have parties. I used to have after school dances, you know,
Yeah.
that you would like stay after school. Bro,
Yeah.
all of that, what I'm telling you, in Texas and me growing up in Orlando, you know, all of that was reggaeton, you know.
Yeah.
I still was a kid, so I'm like, shit, you know. And then after I had this La Banda thing, I'm like, yo, what's up? You know, I'm
Yeah.
Colombian,
Yeah.
bro. Like, when
Embrace it, yeah.
yeah, I'm like, and music is music.
Yeah.
No matter if it's salsa, no matter if it's K-pop, no matter whatever it is, it's the same chords, the same notes. It's just how you know
Layer it and
layer them, how you pattern them, how you want to interpret them, and from there it goes. You know, so I was like, yo, I already know everything about music theory. I play the guitar, the bass, the drums, the piano. I'm like, I'm just gonna implement this in finding my sound, and I'm still doing that. You know, I feel like music is a constant evolution of just finding myself. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was when you were 15, and then a little bit after that, or a couple years after that, 2016. ¿Cómo se dio junte con Tiny para una excusa?
So listen to this. So I come out of this La Banda thing.
Okay.
I think I did three TV shows, like three episodes or 2 episodes, and boom, I got eliminated. You know,
Okay.
obviously heartbroken, whatever.
Yeah.
But like 2 days later, I'm like, bro, this is the best.
You were on TV,
Yeah.
bro.
I
like-
was on TV, like holy shit.
Yeah.
And I figured how big it was because back then it was 2015. There's no social media. I mean, there is social media,
but
but like
it's not what it is today.
Drake was the only famous person in social media,
Yeah.
and Justin Bieber. And
Yeah.
there was nobody else, no verification, no nothing.
No.
And from one day to another, I remember I went on TV and I woke up with like 12,000 followers.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
That's
And,
crazy.
and I
That's
was
crazy.
like, wow, that's it. I'm moving to LA, you know, like.
You're 15.
I made it with 12,000 followers.
12,000 followers at 15.
I'm
bro.
barely at 1,000. I've been on Instagram
I went from
for
like,
years.
I went from
My
like,
head would be like this.
Yeah.
no, I went from like 1,600 followers, me every day, busting my ass, doing like
Yeah.
guitar covers. And then the next day I had 12,000 followers and
That's
just
insane.
like everyone going crazy. So for me, that was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Holy
wide-eyed moment.
Lord,
Yeah.
you know? And while that is happening, you know, I get eliminated, blah, blah, blah. You know, I get a little bit more exposure. I come across these people in Miami that, so this is what happened. This
Okay.
happens, we moved to LA, when that moved to LA. Because my sister, she was also an influencer back then. And one of her videos, she was a YouTuber. She was the biggest beauty guru,
Your sister's Natalie.
Natalie Paris.
Yeah, there you go.
And back then in 2016, one of her videos went super viral of some makeup thing.
Uh huh.
And I'm telling you, her career went crazy, and we had to
Wow.
move to LA.
Yeah, you gotta take those chances.
So we were a family. You know, my sister
sure.
was 15, I was 16. You know, for me it was clutch. You know,
Yeah.
like wow, I'm popping
Yeah.
too. Like this is gonna only help me. LA, never been
claro.
It's
to
an
LA in my
amazing
life.
city for music.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
the
it's
city
like,
of
yeah.
dreams, Hollywood. Wow,
For
fam.
sure.
and networking too, like
Yeah.
Yeah. So I moved there. At this point in time, I didn't know anything about music.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it comes to like, I knew how to play the guitar and like everything, but like sit in a studio and like use Pro Tools and like learn how to sing to a mic and everything.
Yeah.
None of that.
None
shit.
of that. Yeah.
I moved there, and bro, the universe is so crazy, you know? Because I couldn't meet anybody else, but I ended up meeting this guy called Gemini.
Okay.
That he,
Bro, isn't that the guy who did I forgot what song. Wait, was it an artist, right?
well, I don't know if there's a Gemini artist, which I'm sure there is, but this a producer.
Okay.
So back then he was producing Purpose for Justin Bieber. You know,
Nice.
he was doing some stuff for Justin Bieber and working with Poover, and I met the guy, and we clicked because I'm a Gemini too. So
okay.
we became homies. And shout out to all the Geminis out there. And
He's a Gemini.
You're a Gemini?
Yeah.
Come on, homie. Woo. And I meet him. I now become really good friends with him, and I learn everything about music.
Yeah.
He teaches me how to use Pro Tools. I record with him. He teaches me how to sing to the mic. I become his intern. You know, I did for like 8 months. Everyday music. Like I swear, it was crazy.
awesome.
It was like some crazy. Yeah, I learned. I was around really professionals that like, you know, I learned. I'm an observant of life. That's how I
Yeah.
learn. You know, I see things other people don't see because I just observe, you know.
Yeah.
So going back to the Tiny thing, while all of this is happening, you know, I'm learning all this knowledge. La Banda thing, there was like a sunset clause. You know, that you can't do shit while the show is airing or whatever.
Okay.
You know,
like they make you kind of like wait so they don't, it doesn't like spoil anything.
So you got the clout, but now you're gonna have to chill. You know,
wait until the show airs.
Yeah, so it's like you know, I got eliminated, but I had to wait. But while all this is happening, my sister was moving to LA, so I came clutch for me.
Yeah,
I learned all this music stuff, and then these people in Miami, they're like, holy shit, like we like what happened in La Banda, we want to meet you, this and that, let's work. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, ooh, okay.
It's my moment.
My first time, you know, after everybody got eliminated from La Banda, and like obviously the winners came out, like CNCO, one from, you know, was the band. But the other, like, I stay friends with everybody. So, you know, we're all new, trying to find opportunities, you know.
Sure.
This one came out, I'm like, fuck, maybe this one's it, you know. Yeah. So I went to this place. I meet Tiny, nicest guy ever, you know. I met Dinel de Diamond Inc. He's Puerto Rican. Escribí el tema con él y con Tiny. Qué experiencia porque eso fue espectacular. Me acuerdo que Tiny se tomó el tiempo 2 veces. He took his time, bro, to go to the studio with me. I didn't know shit about music, you know. I didn't like, and even more being with him like that in the studio. And I'm not just there listening, but I'm working. You know, I was mad intimidated. You know, like. I'm like, fuck, I have to deliver to this.
Yeah.
Me imagino, bro.
Dios mío santo.
It's tiny, bro.
Yeah.
Dale un poquito así, I'm like, oh my God, okay. No. Whatever you say, Tiny. But no, it was amazing. So I moved to Miami. I started working. I do this song with Tiny. It did really well. And then, you know, after the song with Tiny, with these people that I was working with, or that I thought that, you know, they were like gonna help me, I ended up signing this really bad contract, and like they got me, you know.
One of those.
Yeah, I feel like everybody needs to get got one time.
I know, right?
One of those. Come here.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone just get got one time. You learn from it and you move on.
Sign this 1090 deal real quick.
Yeah,
I signed some crazy 360. They own my farts type shit. You know, so you know, but I didn't know any better. You know,
obviously, yeah.
So I'm like, wow, what a huge fuck up.
That's insane.
Damn.
So yeah, it was crazy. I feel like God has brought me to this earth to like learn patience. You know,
Yeah.
So obviously that was like going back to like the emotional distress, both like crazy. But I also learned a lot. You know, and like aside of that, you know, like working. Just coming to Miami and being able to like, you know, finally do a song in reggaeton, because obviously in LA I was not doing reggaeton, and back then reggaeton was not what it is today.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. What year is this, by the way?
2016.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so era cuando
it was
estaba
just
Balvin,
like
Nicky Jam, like they were like the top ones
Yeah,
at the
reggaeton
time.
was.
It was
That
just
was-
inching up.
That was right
before
when
Bad.
That was like my senior year of high school. Was 16.
Yeah.
And that's when, like, towards the end of my senior year is when Bad Bunny started getting like a little bit of
bit
like,
of
This
heat.
before Bad Bunny. Like all
Like
this happening, I don't
right
think Bad Bunny
there.
existed
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, it was like right there.
This is like the height of like Future and Drake and all. Like that was the sound back then. Yeah.
Exactly.
Future, Drake, Low Life, you know,
Yep.
like all of that.
Like Ray Schmur, yeah.
That girl is
that shit was a
The
banger.
mannequin, the mannequin challenge, bro.
Yeah, holy shit.
What a time.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, literally.
No, but so yeah, it was not that crazy reggaeton yet. You know, they didn't know what was coming. So, you know, working in Miami, coming back to my roots, and then working with Tiny, you know, that was huge for me. You know, that gave me a lot of learning. And, you know, it was unfortunate that, you know, later I fell into like
A trap, basically.
Yeah, and you know what? For the lack of knowledge, bro, that's
Obviously,
some bullshit. You know, some bullshit like.
But you learn from it. You know what I mean, you definitely.
And
learned
I
a
mean,
lot from
it helps that you're sharing it with somebody who could be listening and be like, "Yo,
True.
I'm not gonna fall for that now."
Exactly.
No, yeah. When I achieve global recognition, like one of the things that I want to do is like I want to create like a division or like a fucking entity or an organization that like can just provide free like knowledge, you know,
coaching,
info
knowledge.
on like, the business of music.
Knowledge, just knowledge. I feel like a lot of people could be in a better position, not because they're more talented or because of money or because bro, maybe because of knowledge.
Yeah,
you know, I feel like knowledge is potential power if you use it correctly.
You're not signed currently, right? Or are you?
Well, right now I came out of a deal in 2023. Right
Okay.
now I have a situation going on.
Okay.
I've made a partnership with Mr. 305 here in Miami.
Hey, shout out Pitbull.
Shout out Pitbull. Shout
Yeah.
out Vikina's part of that.
Vikina, that's my homegirl. Yeah,
bro. No, because the reason why I asked that is because I mean we talk about it all the time on the podcast. I feel like nowadays, like you don't even need a label, like to get started.
To get started, you
To
don't
get
need it.
started, so like, and that's your
Once
most
you have a
vulnerable
certain
moment.
like, I feel like they help. They can help, but they're not super necessary.
They're not super necessary
But they
to
do
start.
help you with like taking some load off of
it.
like, what you have to do.
But think about it, like they're getting that back in like 10
Yeah.
times fold. Like I just don't see the necessity for them.
What you do need, I
When
feel
you
like,
start.
is a team.
Yeah.
You know, whether you have your own team or you sign to a label, I think a team is necessary.
Yeah, no, oh, bro. Bro.
It could be your own or a
It
label.
don't matter
but you need a
if
team.
you got the music figured out. It don't matter if you're talented. It don't matter. That's obviously important factors and,
Yeah.
and key points. But bro, if you don't got somebody that's gonna move you correctly, your team that's gonna help you, bro, it's complicated. That's why I'm working and I'm doing things the way I'm doing them right now with
Yeah.
Mr. 305 because, you know, like. This is overwhelming, bro. This career is
Yeah.
overwhelming, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm not an artist that is just starting, but I'm also not the artist that I'm wanting to be on my
your
fulfilled
own, yeah.
dream, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's still so much, you know, like so much to go. So yeah, bro, it's
tough.
It's tough. It's
Tough on your own.
Yeah, it's tough, but I like what I have right now because, you know, the things that it just depends on the situation, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like an artist that is just starting, of course, but like why you need a label, you know? You can have DistroKid, you pay $15 license or whatever it is and you can get it done. But, you know, for me, you know, after I got into this situation,
Yeah.
you know, I go to Colombia to create music and I connected back with my roots, you know? I connected back with my roots. I learned, I signed, I couldn't sign with anybody, but I waited, you know, I learned, you know, I became really good friends with Balvin, J Balvin.
Nice.
He recognized me. And for like 3 years, I went around with him, you know, in the world and I learned from the guy, you know, like I owe him a lot porque yo aprendí mucho de él, you know, during those times porque, you know, he also went through a situation like mine back in the day and yo estaba haciendo música, pero a la vez no podía sacarla. You know, so it was really tough, but from him I learned a lot, you know.
Did he offer any advice? Like,
Or was it
like-
just like by seeing it you learned
yeah,
a lot, like secondhand?
more of like visual example?
Well, so when I meet Balvin, you know, after he learns from me and he sees a couple songs of mine and he wanted to get some songs from mine, but I told him, yo, don't buy my music. Like, I'm an artist, I'm going through this situation, like, why don't you help me, you know? So this happened like 2018, you know?
Okay.
So he grabbed me under his wing and he helped me and he's like, look, bro, like,
So
I'm gonna
instead-
teach you.
Sorry to interrupt.
No.
So instead of you setting your song to him at that moment, you kind of doubled down on yourself, and he saw that.
Yeah, I took a huge gamble, you know?
Yeah.
Because he's like, I fuck with your song, blah, 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 send the song right now.
And
like,
he wants it for him.
Yeah,
but
I want
you
it for
tell him,
me.
bro, I can't give it to you.
I'm like,
That's kind of crazy. That's
You know? That was not the answer.
And at the time, 2018, I'm assuming Balvin
was top.
Balvin was.
I was losing my head, homie. You know, I grew up listening to the guy. You know, so, you know, like, todo empezó porque yo quería que él escuchara mi música y me dejara saber si le gustaba mi sonido,
Yeah.
like, if I was doing things right. I would never in a million years think that he was gonna be like, all right, how much is it? Like, I want it right now, you know? Like, what's up?
Yeah.
You know?
That's
it.
like crazy. Like,
You know, I sent the song and they're like, we'll let you
2
know.
million.
I sent the song and they were like, we'll let you know a couple weeks from now, if anything. And
Yeah.
they call me like after they landed on the plane, you know. type
So that we
shit.
love it. We want
I'm
it
like,
right now.
homie, you know.
that's
so-
crazy.
Yeah.
Eso de película, bro. Like,
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
the película, bro. Like the película, like I was holding onto my kitchen. I remember I was in my kitchen talking,
He's like-
shaking,
he's shaking.
muting that shit. Like, no fucking way. Home alone, can't share it with my dad. Like,
Yeah.
what do I do? Do I say yes? Do I say no? Do I whatever?
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, bro, what? This is the moment. This is a crucial moment that could change the trajectory of my life.
Yeah.
Either or. And this could be a great fuck up if he probably is like, who the fuck you think you are?
yeah.
I ain't buying your shit no more. Or you know what are we talking about? Let me entertain that. Let's see what happens.
I feel like you had nothing to lose in that moment, though.
Yeah, no,
Like-
that's it. So I'm like, I told him, yo, like, this is what's going on, blah, 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 blah. I mean, a problem. I need help. I'm an artist, but I don't want to give you my music because these are the songs that I want to release. Yeah. And he's like, wow, you're crazy, you know? And I'm like, wow, okay, that's it. We didn't talk anymore.
You're like, that's not the answer I wanted.
The next day he calls me, and then, well, he calls his assistant because he was calling, this is all happening through his assistant, but he tells his assistant, tell the kid that if he wants to get signed, then that's what we're going to do. Let's dream bigger, you know?
Wow.
So he calls me, he tells me that shit. So I'm like, oh my God, there ain't no way this is going on. You know?
That thrill of like, you're like, it paid off. You're like, yes.
Like,
bro,
the gamble that you took, like,
yeah,
it worked.
for sure.
I lost it. My heart went down to like my balls, you know?
Yeah.
It was like,
Been there a couple times.
you know? It was great, but I was also still in this crazy contract that I signed that I sold my soul to the devil type shit,
Literally.
you know? And just protocol, you know? So I didn't get to do all these things that I could have done in a public way, but I got all the knowledge, you know?
Yeah.
He taught me everything I learned from the industry. You know, I was able to be in different rooms that like allowed me to understand and like also meet people, you know, create amazing friendships that I still have today. Until, you know, like 3 years went by, 2018, 2019. Oh, 2 years. 2 years went by. 2-3 years went by. And in 2020, I was able to get out of the contract, you know. Jose got me out of the contract. It was pretty lit. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I thought it was not gonna happen. Like legend.
Congrats
Bro.
on that.
Yeah.
You're free.
So he got me on that. I was a free bird, and then I had not been able to do music in like 2 years, 2 years and a half. Like in that moment, homie, COVID-19, they shut down the world for me, baby. They shut down the world for me.
They're like, you're free. You're locked down again.
Bro, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. We were about to go on tour because I had already gone out with Balvin. You know, he's like, while I was under contract, he's like, okay, you can't do music yet. That's fine. Like, I'ma hire you, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, I'ma hire you as a dreamer. So you just come on tour with me and just learn everything and like use it for your knowledge.
That's insane.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We
gotta start doing that more often, bro.
Bro, he made a made up position.
Yeah.
He just said, "Oh, how are you the dreamer?"
What? I was like, he put me in a tour bus, you know, with the dancers. Bro, a whole, like, bro.
That's
Tour?
awesome.
2 tours. I went to Vibras and I went to Arcoiris.
Wow.
All over the fucking globe. It was fucking lit.
That's amazing.
So going back to the COVID, we're about to start touring, like media tour for the album at that moment.
Yeah.
Boom, they shut down the world, you know?
Damn.
I get stuck in Colombia, bro. I couldn't come back to the States for like 8 months. So
But at least you're surrounded by family over there.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Over there,
There's worse places to be stuck
Yeah,
in.
for sure.
yeah, no, over there I was chilling, you know. I lived a pretty simple life over there, you know. Thank God I stayed in Colombia because, I mean, in Miami would have been amazing also with my parents, but my parents were okay, you know.
Yeah.
Over there, I was in El Campo, you know, in La Finca. Like, it was amazing.
It's a relaxing lifestyle.
I got to, you know, become super healthy. I used to
peaceful.
meditate twice a day. You know, I was, you know, it's just like when there's nothing else to do, you become more focused and more aware of different things, you know. I learned to be more grateful, bro, for stupid things, you know. But like when you're at those positions, that is like, it's not even about the money. It's just like the food ain't come. I mean, there was always food, but I'm just saying, whatever it is that you want, maybe it's not coming up because the tunnels are closed because COVID. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's stuff you take for granted in the moment.
Just
You know
like
what I mean?
dumb
It's not
shit,
available
you know?
anymore.
That's
Yeah.
like, wow, you know, crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, that kind of like, you know, I was free, but I didn't get to do anything. Then I signed with Balvin for a couple years, you know. And on 2022, mid-2022, I became a free agent. And now I'm working with Mr. 305.
Oh, nice.
But now to wrap up the whole, do you need a label or not? For my case, I'm telling you all this because for my case, I do need a label. You know, I feel like I do need a label. I needed somebody to be able to back me up in a sense, you know, to have a good distribution, to like, you know, I could have also gone to a distribution, but maybe backed up by label, they're going to be more, you know,
Receptive
aware.
to you. Yeah.
You know, I understand that I'm a developing artist. I understand the weight that I hold, Nothing more, nothing less. But
Yeah.
I needed that
Yeah.
a little.
No, and after all the experiences that you went through, I'm sure you were much more aware of what you were getting into this time.
Oh yeah.
Like you weren't gonna get got the second time.
Yeah.
No, and like you guys asked me if I'm signed. Like, yeah, I signed a contract.
Yeah.
Right.
But like this is not the way I'm treating it with my team. Because this is not 1990s and I signed a fucking 360 contract and they own my life.
Yeah.
That's not the case here. When I left my other situation, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. And that's the most beautiful thing because I was able to create my own representation of what I would want in my own contract,
Yeah.
And I pitched myself around, and obviously a bunch of people said no, other people entertained it, and then they didn't, whatever.
Yeah.
Until I found somebody that understood my vision and that wanted to provide me with what I was proposing.
Yeah.
As similar or as close as possible,
Yeah.
So shit, I'm happy, but yeah. You might not need a label. You might need it. There's a lot of
Everyone's
variables.
different, yeah.
There's so many variables for this to work, and there's not even a formula for it to work either.
Yeah.
No,
You make it up as you go along. And whatever
man,
works,
yeah.
works.
with the power of social media nowadays, there's so many tools that everybody could utilize. That I'm utilizing right now, and that I've been utilizing because I've been part of the social media movement from the beginning. But there's always somebody with more knowledge.
Right.
That
Always,
is
yeah.
utilizing it, and knowledge is potential power.
For sure.
Yeah, you have to keep that in mind. Like, it's you can't always think you're the smartest person in a room, especially with your own career, because there's people who've been doing this for
For
25
20
years, whatever, and the opportunity that Balvin gave you was huge because you got to learn from that. So,
Like, bro, insane.
yeah,
Insane, and like I got to be his first artist signed in the world,
that's crazy.
and that is crazy,
Eso siempre lo vas a tener
until
tú,
I
like,
die,
yeah.
literally.
like that don't happen.
No.
That hasn't happened yet, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna happen. But I was the first one, and he believed in me, and the boost of confidence that gave me, coming from a crazy emotional distress situation,
sure.
from like stuff that I don't even want to get into because it's negative,
Yeah.
it's fucking negative. But like coming from all of that to just like euphoria 24/7, like living the life of a superstar, in flesh. It's not yours, it's not your life, but you're
See,
living
like
it in
an
flesh.
outside point of view of it.
Yeah, and like it also like in a sense grounded me really well, you know. There ain't nothing, no hay nada que me vaya como a deslumbrar,
Yeah.
Like
Not just
I worry more about the small things now,
right. I was gonna say not. I feel like, especially with Balvin, who's like such a positive guy, I feel like you learn a lot of stuff, not just business wise, but also like how a guy of his, I guess, stature or like reputation handles the day to day of like being one of the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah, no, bro.
Like-
100% you learn.
Like the mental side of it, like the emotional side of it. Like I feel like what's
Yeah.
one of the things that you took away from that, like that you can, I guess, share with like our listeners.
Bro, the most important thing that I take from that is that mental health is really important, bro. Like no cap, is really true.
Yeah.
And another thing that I can take is that for anybody that's listening right now, if bad things are happening to you right now, if that's the immediate reality, there's also gonna be a moment where good things are happening, Because I remember one day that I was like having a panic attack and I called Balvin. I'm like, yo, like, fuck this, Maybe I'm living a whole fantasy of this life that I want to portray to be an artist, you know.
Yeah.
But and like we were having crazy problems with the label, and like he's like, let me call you right back, So he calls me on FaceTime and I'm like on a floor in a gym, like, like crying.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, relax. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. Just like right now, everything's bad and they're being assholes and this and bad and bad and bad and bad. There's gonna be a moment where good things are gonna happen, And the good things also came, That's the second thing. How there's bad things, there's also good things gonna come. And the third thing I learned, have a solid team. Holy shit. That's so important. That's something I can take out from my experience with Balvin. I lived it in flesh. And yeah, I feel like those are really good things, really good positive observations you know, because they've made me a wiser musician, you know.
Yeah.
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 So after you get done with the Balvin tour and all that, and now you're with Pitbull's label and all that. What's been your kind of mindset in this stage of your career so far?
Man.
Like what if you can think of your career, I guess, or your life right now in eras, like what era are you in as an artist?
I mean, like, I was in like a hibernation process since 2022. And I feel like with Mr. 305, I began the phase of like reborn, you know? I feel like a phoenix. I feel like I burned to the ground and then I'm like slowly coming back from the ashes, you know? Right now is my second release with Mr. 305. I released my first song in August, if I'm not mistaken. My second release came out the 29th, and I feel great, you know. They have their I mean, I'm sure they have multiple places, but they have their studio here, which is really, it holds a lot of sentimental value to me, because before it was Mr. 305, it used to be Studio Center, you know. Shout out to Hector.
Shout out Hector.
Yeah, shout out to Hector. And I used to go there since I'm a little kid, you know, since I'm like 15 or 16. When I was living in Orlando, I would come here to Miami, you know, and I didn't have no $100 for a session plus engineer plus this. You know, I would go to those offices and be like, Hector, please, bro, I'm an up-and-coming artist. Like, I would love if you let me borrow a room or whatever. You know, and like, he was always packed. So he's like, no, kid, you know, like, everything's cool. You know, and I went there enough times until he's like, yo, in between sessions, like while they're cleaning, you can go inside the studio and you can do whatever you want. So sometimes the rappers would be like 2 hours late.
Yep.
You know, so that was me. That was me while they're cleaning. You know,
time.
Mad time.
So
you can
now,
record a session.
Yeah, bro, it happened multiple times. So for me, it was great. But now going back to being reborn, and now it's like a perfect circle. You know, the studio that I'm working out of is like the studio I worked from the beginning. So for me, it's great, you know. It's great. I try to stay persistent with my positive thoughts, you know, because this career, bro, you can get caught up in anxiety. You can get caught up in just having wrong thoughts sometimes, you know, which is pretty natural. But the brain just plays games. So I try to stay, you know, as positive as possible. But I'm happy, bro. I'm curious to see what the future holds for me again, you know.
You know, one of the interesting parts about being an artist or a creative is that I feel like it's the only career that you're not in control of. Like any regular career, like your performance is like, you can measure that. But as an artist, it's like, it's up to the people to see if they like it. You know, like you can make something, but if the people don't connect with it.
Yeah, if there's no engage.
You take such a risk. Cause like you're putting your whole you're putting all your emotions or your life out there on this one track, and if they don't mess with it, you're like, it's kind of like an emotional blow to you.
And hope to like the people like it.
Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. Like this music thing is like an emotional illusion, you know?
Yeah.
Because what you guys are saying, imagine being an artist that you put all your mind, focus, love, sweat, tears into a song, and nobody fucks with it.
Yeah.
Bro, that happens. I've had music that in my mind I'm like, holy shit.
Te va a romper. Like,
Wait, puta, this is my #1 song that I wrote for this and I wrote because of this. Bro, they didn't give a fuck. But it happens, you know. I feel like as an artist, that's part of it, and I feel like you need to learn to grow a thick skin, you know. And that just comes with time, because for me before it was painful, you know.
Yeah.
Like for me internally, you know. Maybe for me to hold the poker face. Shit until I die.
For real?
Yeah.
I suck. I was like
you would see your emotions showing
if I'm like nervous, you can see it. If I'm mad, you can see it. Like,
but you know what though? Like with you is that you have like it's not resting bitch face, but it's like a resting mad face.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm a vulnerable human being that would definitely show emotions, but like if somebody comes and talks shit about my music, I'm breaking down in front of
you don't care at all.
Until I die, homie. I don't give a fuck what you think, you know.
For sure.
But you know, back then, you know, I'll hold my face and then like I'll be like hurt, you know,
on the low,
butt hurt, you know.
Yeah.
Now it's like, homie, I don't give a shit, you know. I already outgrew that. But yeah, man.
I think that's what makes the greats so different. Like by the greats, I mean like the top guys in the industry, because like they kind of like make the new sound, so they're risking like their entire career is on the sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
it's a risk if you try to deviate from your normal thing anytime.
or when no one's doing that sound and you're like, I'm gonna go after
That's
this.
why, and going back to one of the guys you work with, that's why I have so much respect for Tiny, because, yo, he's an innovator.
Yeah.
Like el tipo es un genio, bro. Like, with the shit that he comes up with, and like, bro, even in this last album,
Dada?
and Dada, I was listening to sounds and I'm like, yo, like,
Crazy, right?
every song is a risk that he
Yeah.
had to take, and it's like, to me, it's like a masterpiece.
I like how Tiny produces.
Yeah.
It's really peculiar the way his mind works. I really like that.
How is he in the studio? Like, what's his mannerisms?
At least with me,
Yeah.
he was quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
He's
feel,
like a very like.
I feel like I get
He's
that
super
vibe.
reserved.
Like,
You know, he
very
was super
chill.
reserved, but at the same time, he took his time to like stop me, like, bro, actually do this, or like, what if you think? Do you think we should do this? You know, like, give him. He was instructing. He gave me the procedures. I feel like I was in like Apollo 13. You know, and I was like, do this, yes sir. Da, 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 da.
He was like guiding you with like his like expertise.
He's like,
Yeah,
what do they call him?
1000.
Ventriloquist?
yeah, like the man, like the.
The day I had that session, I prepared psychologically. I'm like,
I bet, bro. Like being in this.
it's happening. I'm gonna see Tiny in the studio.
He's been doing this. He was his 14,
Yeah.
13.
Bro, I used to
Probably
go
younger.
to Chiquitecas, listen to like Wisin y Yandel, you know, like
Yeah.
Yeah. And you hear him on the
Tiny did that.
tunes.
Tiny
Tiny
Tunes.
did
Yeah,
that shit,
bro.
Yeah.
you know.
We had that experience at his event that we like. They were going through his whole playlist, and I'm like,
Yeah,
you forget that he was like
At
all these songs that he's
Oasis,
produced.
I don't know if you were there, but at Oasis they did an event like for Dada.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was for Dada. I think it was something else.
Yeah, but Tiny was there, I remember.
But he was there doing like a live mix.
The
It
square.
was just an audio
Yes.
visual thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was there.
Bro, and he was going through like his whole catalog.
Everything. He
And
did
I
his
was
own
like-
remixes.
Yes.
Like, whoa, homie,
I
what
was
are you doing,
like-
Tiny? Wow.
I was like, bro, the tipo like, cause you forget sometimes. I'm like, yo, tipo like he was estaba involucrado en todo back then. Like, literally a pioneer of reggaeton. Like you can't tell the story of reggaeton without Tiny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
1,000.
it's crazy.
It's
So
crazy.
you've performed in live in front of people like past La Banda and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Or, I mean,
So-
not. Yeah, La Banda.
Yeah, but La
I
Banda,
confuse
yeah.
X Factor and La Banda all the
Yeah.
time.
So 2020 quarantine, I released my first song after Tiny, because I did two songs with Tiny. I did Una Excusa and then I did Hola with
Yeah.
Tiny also. He produced it. So after that, like 4 years went by and I released music on 2021. It was amazing. I felt great. You know, it was called the first edition. That was my EP. You know,
Nice.
it had like a little bit of everything. Reggaeton, it had a corrido tumbado, you know, because I love
Nice.
corridos.
Yeah.
And I performed I performed around the world with Balvin in Neon. They were having a party called Neon.
Okay.
So we got our residency in Las Vegas. It was amazing. It was
Nice.
super cool experience.
They got Balvin a residency.
Wasn't it Henry that did that?
Yeah,
Henry was.
Big
He
shout out to
told us
Henry.
that.
Bro.
Yeah,
We
shout
love
out Henry.
Henry, yeah.
Henry's that dude, bro.
My dog got
Henry-
curls, don't know how to act.
Yeah.
And I'm
Henry's
like,
the G unit.
He is, bro, he
After
is.
him, that's it. You know, I know
He
the guy. I've known him for a long
a
time.
very long time, yeah.
You know, like every
He's
time
awesome,
we'll go to
bro.
Vegas,
Is with
that's
Henry.
the guy. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
telling us during the pod that he was like, yo, like, he's like, oh, I'm the one that brought Balvin to. He told us.
But like, he told us, but I didn't think he was like the guy. Like,
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
he said something about being like like he worked at a club, and
In
he
Palms.
was and he was like not a promoter, but he was like I guess the one who set up the events. Or,
Yeah.
like
He was the talent partnerships and like artist relationships.
ah,
you
okay,
know?
okay.
So
No wonder why he's in A&R.
yeah.
Yeah. So now you know
Makes
now
sense,
now he's
yeah.
part of the music for real.
For
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
yeah.
Now it's not the entertainment. He's
No.
like
Bro,
legit
his
industry.
right now the project he's working on, bro. That kid is gonna blow.
Armand
they're doing really good.
Armand is
Bro.
he was in the studio.
I know.
They're really
Michelle
good.
Yuli.
Yeah, good shit. So yeah, we went to Vegas. We had a 1 month residence.
Mhm.
We performed we performed in day clubs. We performed at night. It was just the dream, bro.
Yeah.
The dream.
That's
The
awesome.
reason why I asked that is because I always ask artists this, like, what do you find more enjoyable, or like, what do you like better? I guess creating the song, or like when you perform the song, like seeing the people's reaction to your song. Like, which one do you enjoy the most?
Shit, it's just like a different emotion. It's just like a different feel for me. the music, I mean, at least the creation for me is like everything, you know? That's therapeutic for me. You know, like, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I don't want to create music, but at the same time,
That's the best
creating
time.
music is gonna help me not be depressed anymore. So it's just like I be out of canceling myself.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, when you're in front of people and like, you know, and you're a developing artist, and you see maybe one person that knows the song, that for me is already insane. I can only imagine when you're like the headliner at a show and it's like
Yes.
30,000 people were there
Singing-
just to sing your damn hook.
Yes.
That shit has to be like, well, homie.
That's what I think about. I'm like, if I was an artist, I think like, yeah, creating it is nice. Like, not nice, but like, it's a sentimental emotion.
Yeah.
But like, bro, I don't know what it would be for me to see somebody singing a song I created.
It's like
I think
euphoric.
I would be like,
Yeah, super euphoric.
like that one video of the kid from, he has a song with Selena Gomez that it blew up. It's like, Calm Down. Or Calm, I think it's called.
I forgot.
Calm Down.
Oh
Calm
yeah,
Down.
yeah.
That one.
Oh, yeah.
Where
Yeah.
you ever seen that video of him like standing on stage? Everyone like the song barely just started. Everyone's
Like,
singing
the
song.
beat played and everyone started singing.
He didn't even start. Like he couldn't do it because he was just so mesmerized by.
I mean,
everyone
imagine
singing.
how overwhelming in a positive way it is.
Yeah.
It's like, it has to be insane. I mean, I haven't got to live that in that
Magnitude.
in that
Yeah.
magnitude, and I'm sure the day I do is gonna be like,
Euphoric.
yeah, bro. Imagine, oof,
Like a high, like a just.
just like a high, you know, dopamine just rolling through your
Literally.
veins.
A lot of artists talk about that too. I've heard that like.
Performing.
Yeah, like the dopamine that you get right after performing like that, like it's like it's such a weird thing. It's like, all right, you perform and you're on like such a high, and then after you're just like, am I supposed to just come down now? Like
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're
I'm
just
up.
so up the
You're like,
entire
you have
time,
so
man.
much like, so a lot. That's why a lot of them go like partying and stuff like that
Yeah.
because it's like,
You're
like
just-
I'm
you're already
just
on
so
tilt,
up
yeah.
right now.
Imagine you're vibing with 30,000 souls in a
Yeah.
concert. You know, like when like a time that I really felt the connection. You know, I mean, not coming from me singing, but like I went to the Karol G concert in LA in the Rose Bowl.
Wow.
Imagino.
Think about what you just
wow,
said.
homie.
Karol G performing in the Rose Bowl. That's insane how far Spanish artists have
Rose
come.
Bowl. You know, that ain't no arena. That's a whole stadium.
The Rose Bowl is historic.
Yeah, it's historic American
yeah.
stadium, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
no, please correct me if I'm wrong. It was like 80,000 people in that shit.
I think
like,
so.
Like some crazy
something
number.
crazy,
Bro,
bro. I know it's, I know
that
it's
same
big.
stage was when Michael Jackson did the Super Bowl halftime show at the end the Rose
I
Bowl.
did
Rose
not
Bowl,
know
yeah,
that.
that's true, homie. Oh my
Look
god.
at that.
Yeah.
We
Bro.
come a long way.
I've never seen everybody singing a song at the same time like that. Never in my life. Never in my life. Never seen 80,000 people sing the same thing.
That's crazy. 80,000 people alive.
that is.
Bro, 80,000 singing. That's like what happened with Travis Scott in Rome. Got like people were singing and jumping and dancing, and it caused like a mini earthquake. That's crazy.
Are you serious?
In Rome, that happened
I
in
didn't see
Rome
that.
for his last album. He did like a listening party.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't a listening party, but it was like I guess it was a listening
It's like
party.
what Kanye did for Donda.
Yeah, but it
Where
was
he,
like 2 days after the
Donda.
so people
Yeah.
people knew the songs already. So people knew which songs are the ones that are like getting you
Are
like
hyped, yeah.
but people were doing like so many mosh pits and like jumping and all
I
that shit
bet.
that it caused like a
mini
1.2 or 2 point
like
something.
it hit the scale. The fact
Bro,
that it did that is crazy.
People in Rome were like, yo, the buildings
It
were
caused a
shaking.
shift in the world's magnetic field.
Bro, they did it in the Coliseum. That's crazy.
It's gonna fall apart, bro.
Bro, like, yeah, those buildings are old, bro. Like for real.
God
You
damn.
have like
crazy.
you have like fucking 40,000 people, 50,000 people just like jumping on that. It's like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So what's next for Matt Paris?
Yeah. First, before he gets that, talk about Diferente. 'Cause
Oh.
I really like that song. I
Yeah.
want you to talk about like how you came up with that.
Shit, Diferente. Such a nice song, bro. I love that track. I did it in Colombia.
Nice.
I did it in Colombia with my homie Obi Gray. I don't know if you guys know Obi Gray.
Yeah, I know of him. He's a composer.
Shout out to Obi Gray. Great person. Great musical creative.
And that's a low brush, right?
Yeah, he does brush. He works with them. And yeah, we did the song in Colombia. It was amazing. Me tocó esperar un poquito para sacarla, you know, because I was going on that moment of, you know, coming back from the ashes, you know.
Yeah.
And this is a song that just came out. I did it last year, though. Amazing. Mosty got to master it. So it's a huge fucking honor for me. You know, it's
Yeah.
always been a dream to, you know, meet the guy, but also more than that, work with him. You know, I've worked with him already in the past, but I'm just so grateful I get to work with the guy. Such an honor que mi música pueda estar masterizada por él. I'm releasing another song, God willing, within the next couple weeks. Y lo más importante es seguir siendo consistente. Yo vine a este mundo a hacer música. Así a veces esté triste o esté feliz. Yo siempre me motivo y lo que quiero es dejarle la mejor música posible al público, al mundo. Y seguir viendo que tiene el universo para mostrarme, As I told you guys, I'm an observer, so I stay persistent on where's the next signal, what do I have to go, like where's my gut telling me to do. That's how my life it runs every day. And, I'm in a good state right now, Things are happening for me and they will continue to happen. And if that's what I want, if that's what I desire, my mind's going to allow me to project that because here's my tool to make everything happen.
Yeah.
No, 100%. That's people talk about it and it's like kind of like a cliche, but I really do believe it's real. Where like, where your mind goes, like the energy, where your mind goes, energy flows.
Yeah,
it's like so it's like if you, si te pones pa algo, bro, like, se te va a dar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're all human beings, we also have negative thoughts. It's pretty normal.
Natural.
Yeah.
Just like we have positive, we have negative. But, I try to see my cup half full more than seeing it half empty all the time.
For sure.
Because it's a huge like shift of perspective.
Yeah.
So that's what's coming next for my Paris. I'm also working a lot on, I do music. That's my main and will always be my main thing, but I'm also a designer.
Nice.
I'm working on a couple of projects for Art Basel,
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this year. You guys are more than invited.
For sure.
I'm working on a collection. I don't want to reveal too many details that I can right now.
Just follow him on Instagram.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
I have a collection coming out in Art Basel. And yeah, stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty lit.
Real quick before you go, I actually have one more question.
Dale.
So the other day, I was scrolling on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Not the other day. It was like during Billboard week. And I was scrolling on TikTok and I'm like, I see Miami Vice. And then I'm like, I know those guys. And then I look at it and I'm like, damn. I'm like, yo, this guy looks familiar. And I'm like, it was you. And it was you, like, they were giving you issues about having shorts.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Por fin entraste.
Yeah, por fin entraste o no, bro?
It's my first time in my life. I want to tell you guys, it's the first time in my life since I'm 15 years old that I get a fucking issue in Live.
That's since you were 15. You didn't even get an issue when you were 15.
I never got an issue when I'm 15, and there's a guy that was an asshole in the
guards?
One of the security assholes, because everyone knows me there, and that guy didn't know me. He's a dick, and you know who you are. I didn't get in. Imagine, I didn't get in.
They didn't let you in?
I'm like, all right, you guys need pants? Fine. Over my pants, 15 minutes away, I put them on. But when I put them on, bro, Peso Pluma came in, that shit was already like this. My connect was gone. When you're going to Live, and obviously in the Latin Billboard night,
you gotta go in.
You gotta be in there before.
Yeah, it's gotta be like at like a specific moment. So no, I didn't go in, bro.
And especially when your connect is there, you gotta go then.
No, that was the night for me, and like it bothered me a little bit because would it been another night, I would have not cared, but that was the night to be in there.
Yeah.
So whatever. I ended up going to 11. I had a performance that night in 11.
Bueno.
So I'm like, fuck this,
Aprovecha.
Yeah, so it was perfect for me because I got to 11. It was obviously empty.
Yeah.
But when I got to perform, everybody was coming from
Live to 11.
Yeah, nice. And by the time I got down, that shit was a shit show. But we were there, so we already had our table, taking care of us, everything.
Chilling,
yeah, so we were good.
See, everything works out for
everything worked out.
Exactly.
What they put that in the video, Miami Vice?
It was a clip.
Yeah,
it wasn't them.
I want to see it.
It was a clip.
Somebody clipped it from their
I'll show you
YouTube or
after.
something.
Yeah, you gotta show me.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, man, that was so annoying, bro. So annoying. It's the first time in my life, but it's okay. It's okay. At least we got the damage done that night.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey. Bro, it's like you said, like when, out of something bad, something good happens.
Yeah,
like,
no. Yeah, for me it was great. Oh, yeah, I remember it.
I was like, yo, I paused it a few times. I was like, bro,
Wait,
is this not?
Homie.
Is this not mad?
bro.
And I'm the first one to say, you know what, fuck you. I don't give a shit. You
Nah,
know?
for sure.
But that day, I'm like, nah, I'm pulling this.
We have like
I don't
lower level
care.
ones,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean.
Yeah, bro, shit happens.
But now I know. I mean, never again I'm gonna do the shorts.
Shorts?
No, you know what, bro? Shorts.
You should, bro. When you perform, you wear shorts.
Make it your brand now.
Yeah, when I perform and live, I'm wearing my shorts, homie. They better let me in.
Now it's a story.
You're right. I wear I wear shorts on the shorts.
Aquí se ponen shorts. But that's funny, bro.
Yeah,
that's a good spot though.
Yeah, bro. Primero que nada, bro, thank you for stopping by and hablando con nosotros, bro. It's been awesome, bro. And even the first time that we met you at the Neon party,
that was such a vibe.
We're like, yo, we gotta get him on.
It's
like,
crazy
yo, let's
that
do
like you're close with Balvin because like I told him I was like, bro, is Balvin here? Because
he's here right now. I think.
No, I'm saying you kind of look like him that night.
Oh yeah.
To me, like from a peripheral, I was like, bro, I think Balvin's here.
Yeah, I think he saw you like from the behind. He's like, yo, is that Balvin?
Is that Balvin? I was like, because you're fashionable everywhere you go.
Yeah,
so I was like, that guy's an artist for sure.
No, and he was with Henry. And Henry,
exactly. And you were with Henry.
And Henry told us
what really
that he was
sold
Balvin.
it to
So he was like, yo, like he did like a double take. He's like,
yo, is Balvin here? Because I think you had your hair a different color that day.
Yeah. Back then it was different. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that's lit.
Just fun. But even that night, we were chopping it up at the table. We were talking, and I was like, yo, like
such a vibe. Like we want to have this guy.
No,
on.
like I feel like we had been talking about having this moment, and it happened.
When it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. Thank you for coming on, brother.
For real,
bro. Thank you, bro.
Always,
what an
man.
honor, bro. What an honor, bro. I love this. Thank you.
Before you go, I have one question for you, because I've been doing these podcasts, and one thing I like to take from it is like what people's visions are, and I always like to ask people like long term, when when you're not in this world anymore, like what do you want people to remember you by?
I want people to remember me by a human being that always fought till the end for his dreams, not only to prove my point as like to myself, but to prove to the world that success is obtainable regarding the situation. Because I've been in a lot of situations in my life with a lot of positive things and with like the worst situations you guys don't even imagine. I've lived a lot of things, people don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everything's achievable, if you put your mind into it, if you desire positive thoughts in your mind, if you focus on the positive, you start seeing things half full more than half empty. That's what I'm saying.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Bro, where can the people find you, bro, if you want to look into your camera?
Yeah, guys. So if you guys want to go check me out, look me up, Matt Paris Official, M-A-T-T, Paris como Francia, oficial con doble F. Ahí me encuentran en todas las plataformas digitales y vayan y me sigan para mantenerse actualizados ante cualquier cosa que suceda en mi carrera.
Bro, that was like a bar. Yeah, that was fire.
The beat in the background.
Mi gente, we love you guys. We appreciate
Always.
you guys for watching. Si eres nuevo, bienvenido. We love to do these interviews with artists, with creatives, and just kind of, put people on and showcase people who we think are super talented. Y yeah, hasta la próxima. Los queremos.
Love you guys.
Peace.